Okay, so today's challenge is using all these bits and bobs I've had for years kicking around the garage. Starter motor. This is from, I believe, a Mark IV Orion or Escort, one of the last to run on carbs. So it's an ignition module which runs on a vacuum sensor there. So, and it has the same leads as the Zetec engines for crank pickup and coil pack. So common sense says that we can use that, even if it's just to get the engine running so we can see what it's like. Hopefully we can use it later on to run the car. Some nice lovely carburetors I've had for a while as well on a Zetec manifold, waiting to go to a good home. And of course the engine. So first plan was to fill it with oil, which I did that and found out it's got holes in the sump, so that's why it's at a funny angle, to avoid that. I've already taken the dual mass flywheel off, and this is a flywheel from a 1.8 Mondeo, which is the same setup I've got on the Pop, so I know that will be suitable for this. So the first challenge is strap a starter motor to it and see if we can get it to turn over. Okay, so starter motor needs to be sort of there somewhere. Right, if you can come around and hold the starter motor in place. Yep. Let's see if we can get a measurement, a rough measurement, and when we shoot the scrap pile, guarantee I'll have something that'll fit that.
Thereabouts.
And then about 35, 36 millimeters. Right.
Let you get to your scrap pile.
Well, that's not far off. So we got 34, just over. I can do something with that.
Is it the holes?
Right, okay. Box of, no, never throw anything away. Nuts and bolts and take things apart. Always brilliant. That looks like the right size for the block. Probably is the one that came out the block. Yeah, okay. So that'll go in there. Right, battery. Okay, so battery leads for, I'll try to keep in the garage because when I've done this sort of thing in the past, so these are already ready to go. I think they were part of an old battery backup starter patch you get that died many years ago. Oh, nope, that's not good. Chewing the end of that off. Right, so we need to bolt that down. See if I've got something else in the scrap pile for that. It's about the magic ties of magic. It'll be fine.
I'm going to get you a coffee cup with that.
You should do it, only a temporary thing because the starter won't be living there. This is just to see if we can get it to turn over. Try again. Oh, nearly. Close. Good after all. There we go. That'll do. Right, okay, so we got it turning over. It turns over nice. So it's a bit of a pot, but it is working. I say it's only a temporary thing. Just next challenge is to see if we can use this. I don't see why not. The ignition maps were not going to be ideal for this engine. There's no doubt about that. Before I get the everybody telling me that. But if we can just get it running on it, then that'll do. So what we need to do is find out whether we've got a spark. So now I do remember from doing the wiring on the pot that Ford in their later life decided that black should be live and brown should be neutral. Which really catches you out when you're not expecting it, when it's usually the other way around. So what we need is some cables that go on there. Right,
joining the two blue ones.
Yeah, there's two connectors there. So we need a coil pack as well, which is up there. Right, so this is the coil pack that came with the engine. So we can shove that back on there temporarily. So it has to be on loose. It gets its earth from the so what this will do, you'll have a direct live to it, and then this will send separate earths to it. I'm sure we've got that in camera. So that'll switch the earths. So this center pin on these is normally live, and the outer pins then all live that one, or earth that one, earth that one, earth that one, earth that one, and you get like what they call a wasted spark. So it'll spark them two, spark them two, spark them two, spark them two. And one of the sparks will be on the exhaust stroke, which is, that's why they call it wasted, because it won't be used. That'll do just to get us on there. Right, those are sensors which we shouldn't need for this exercise. That will clip onto the sensor over here, hand sensor rather. That to plug into, oh that's the sensors, that's all I want. That'll plug into there. Do something to sit around. Sit about. Yeah, to freeze it up. So like that will do. Keep the wires away from turning bits. Right, those shouldn't need for now, so it's just these two. Right, so if I find a couple of cables and crimp ends on, pick those up, we can send them to the battery. Right, while I'm doing that, Ed, if you pull a spark plug out, anyone, just so we can connect it up to a lead and see if you've got a spark. Brown, so that's our earth. Send that round somewhere so there's not getting caught on the twisty bits. Best to do with this now. Get it straight under there. Under there, probably better. Okay, so earth. Just strip the end of this off and wrap it around there. Nothing too fancy. It's only temporary. Worry about making it prettier in about 20 years time when I'm ready to put the engine in. Power, we can connect onto there, look, same way. So this, when I've got the battery connected now, will be effectively ignition on. So spark plug in there, and if you can hold that against the, it needs to be against something like that. Reach like that. Yeah, or like that. As long as it's earthing, it doesn't really matter. Right, okay.
I'll put my glove there. Let's see it sparking.
Right, okay, let's see if we can get the spark. Yeah, we have spark. Okay, so spark is good. The next thing we need is fuel. Right, so that spark plug can go back in the hole.
Yep.
Take that off of there.
So now,
35. Right, some. Always have loads of these. Always come in handy. M8 bolts. Always use them for something. So what I usually do when I'm trying to see if I can get an engine to fire is very simply petrol straight down the trumpets and see if it will run. You've got spark and got compression, you've got fuel, and it should run. You see these car programs always, almost always struggle to get the engine running off the bat. That's almost always staged, because engines, it's not that difficult to get an engine to run as long as you've got compression and the spark's in the right place. What they almost always do, you'll see, is they mess around with the plug leads. So the plug leads are never in the right order, so it won't start up properly, or it will start and pop and bang. Then they go, oh look, we've got the distributor on back to front. That's almost always staged. I'm convinced of it. Because these are professional mechanics and I'm just an umpty. I can see what they're doing. When we get to it, I'm not too worried about this sump leaking oil because I won't be using it. I'll be using a sump to suit the Escort, and I'm going to make that myself. I've made a few of them over the years, so I'll show you when I come to it how to do that. You save yourself a fortune on things like proper sumps from the proper manufacturers, because they're sort of 400 quid plus, and you can make your own with a bit of sheet steel for about 20 quid. I'm all for that. Same with the water rail arrangement. It's possible to make up your own water rail arrangement. So we'll certainly cover that when we come to that further down the line. Right, I think that's tightened up enough. Well, the next bit is going to make you all cringe, and no doubt I'll get comments about this. But this is what I do. It's my trusty cup. I've been using this for years. A little bit of tin can I made. Right, plug leads in. These should drop to where they should be going.
they're all numbered anyway, aren't they?
That's just drop them in as they fall. It's a motion lotion. A little bit at a time. Cap on that and way out the way.
One of the best beers. Oh, volume.
So, bit of fuel down the carbs. Just like that.
Yeah, I'm standing back for this one.
He's chicken. Ignition on. And that's promising. Okay, try a little bit more motion lotion. See how easy it is to get an engine to run. Spark and fuel and compression, it all happens at the right time and it will work together. Right, let's try again.
We had things.
Right, okay, so let's see if we can get a better fuel supply rather than just a few glugs down the carburetors. And I do also have something for that from previous playings. It's an old fuel tank from an old lawnmower, I think.
I was going to say it's lawnmower
Or maybe an old petrol compressor, thinking about it. I don't know. And yes, I have petrol. I didn't have to queue up for it either.
No, now you know when this was filmed.
It's pies now, apparently.
Pies?
Pies.
Wow.
So, you heard it here first. Panic buy your pies.
Well, it was toothpaste last week, wasn't it?
That's ridiculous. Some of that's going in the car. Okay. Let's go again. Fuel squirting out. It's a good sign. Right, one more go. Yeah, we'll call that a success. Well, you've had it running. I'm not going to run it anymore because it's noisy and it'll upset the neighbours even more so than they usually are. So it's that's it for this week's video. Wanted to do something different to panel and metal beating constantly. So what we got is this ignition control unit. There's two versions of this. One is red and a bit more available, but I believe this one has a slightly better internal map for running on Zetec engines. I believe it originally ran a CVH engine, like I said, in the Escort and Orion, but as you can see, it does work. How well it's going to work for everyday driving is another thing. We got oil spat over here somewhere. That's interesting. Oh, it's coming out the spark plug hole. Yeah, so carbs running, and a very, very basic setup to show it's possible to get a Zetec engine running on carbs without spending an absolute fortune as well. I believe the Banger Racer boys like using this setup. Well, not the twin carbs, but with like a single carb and that setup as well. Ah, brilliant. Thanks for watching. That was fun.